Guys, this is a very special Blue-White Breakdown podcast.
You know what I've never done, Bob, before? I've never had a Jack during the podcast.
Jones is getting emotional right now as we speak. This could be the last one. I'm not sure. We're doing this live.
Social Security called yesterday.
This is never going to be 20
I was
minutes.
waiting on this.
This is never going to be a 20 minute podcast.
They called yesterday. I'm out a week from tomorrow. So it is the last.
I mean, you're going to work after today?
If you want to call it work.
So deflating. Anyway, this is the last one. Last Penn State Blue-White Breakdown podcast. Bob Flounders, Dave Jones, Johnny McGonigal. We could say it. We're in Mechanicsburg.
Yeah.
Dave, congratulations. You finally made it to Mechanicsburg after 35 years.
Doesn't Joe live here? Doesn't Hermit live here?
He lives around here, yes.
Okay.
But you finally made it to Mechanicsburg. Is it everything you would expect, Mechanicsburg?
I don't really like golf. I lived on a golf course. I lived on Valley Green. I don't really like golfers. I think you know that. But
I always.
So you're not like me then?
Yeah.
Oh, you golf?
I'm not a good one.
I always had it in my mind.
Neither were they.
Dave's wife Annie is here. I'm trying to visualize him on a golf course it's a dogleg right par 5.
Right.
In Edders,
Valley
Green.
Number 4.
I'm trying to visualize the conversation that went down when somebody sliced it into Dave's yard and then had the audacity to walk out of bounds into your yard and pick it up with you looking
Bob,
at it.
they didn't slice it. They purposely tried to cut off the corner. And Anna would tell you, she's right over there, when one of those balls hit the house, it went wham! I mean, it would.
How angry did you get, Dave? You're usually good at keeping it together.
You can't get angry at golfers for missing shots. But what angered me, and I actually wrote a column about it, was them coming in their yard, in your backyard, to search for balls. And then one day...
It's a no-no. You don't do that. You don't do that, no.
So
did it ever get physical?
Well, I'll tell you what did happen.
It definitely got physical.
One morning, and newspaper people have late nights, and we go to bed late. Anna and I used to have a joke that it's 3:41.
You guys used to have house parties. I was at a couple of them.
It seemed like 3:41 was like every time we looked at the clock when we went to bed, it was 3:41 a.m. But that's newspaper people.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get up at 10 or 11, and that was our life. But there's one day. This guy, he's about 22, just this doofus.
Just got to wind him up, and
walks
the beauty of the podcast.
He walks all the way, and mind you, it's like 30 yards from the fence of the 4th fairway to our house. Like he walks all the way in toward the house to right where the master bedroom is.
Yeah.
Right there, right at the window, and he's yelling up to his buddy because he found his ball next to the bedroom window. He's yelling up to Buddy, "Where's the pin? Is it there or there?"
Which pin placement is it?
Yeah, because he can't see it because the green's
there. You barely remember this story.
This is 30 years ago. It's Valley Green Country Club. Because we're not really used to living on a golf course. We thought it would be fun to live on a golf course.
Yeah.
But these are
But you don't like golf.
There's public golfers, and I didn't know the difference between country club golfers and public golfers.
Yeah.
These guys are basically all drunks. They are.
Yeah.
Not like here at Armitage, which is
you're talking about my people.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah. Hey, this is not a stray.
I just saw Jamie Flowers. I couldn't believe I didn't see Jamie Flowers in like 20 years.
Flounders, you couldn't pick the winner of a Rocky fight. You said that to me in 1995. I fell over.
So I undo the window. I crank open the window.
Yeah.
And the guy is standing right there. And I don't even think I had underpants on. I'm getting out of bed. It's 9 a.m.
Winnie the Pooh status?
And I done the blinds, and he's like a little stunned.
Yeah.
But I say,
Nick's coming right for you.
I say, what are you doing? And he goes like this. He goes, the dumbest expression I've ever seen in my life. He goes,
how are you?
Hitting it.
Hello, greatness. How are you? Look who it is.
Oh, it's a special guest star. I said, what if I hit you?
Yeah. A special guest star.
Nick, you're interrupting
Nick Horvath.
tape. Say hello. We're on the podcast.
It's not in frame right now.
He wandered in. Yeah, you're going to have to come in now.
Slide in a little.
It's going to be like the Fox anchor desk.
We'll make
Janet, could you give Nick
Get
the king a chair, please?
Yeah.
This is yeah.
Come on, Nick.
Have you ever done a podcast, Nick?
No.
Well, you have now. You are now. Yeah. So,
Dave, you know what I'm going to say to him right now?
what? We were reliving the golf course, the Valley Green golf course story.
Yeah.
And the guy, the column.
Very
I
even
wrote
tempered
about
when
that.
somebody hit it into his yard. That's the summation.
And coming in to get the balls.
Nick, here's one for you. Dave, have at this. Nick Horvath Jr. was 2002. A young Penn State running back was in the Heisman Trophy race.
Oh, yeah.
Larry Johnson Jr. ran for 2,000 yards. Nick Horvath looked at me late in the season, I think after he had been invited to the Heisman ceremony, did one of these with his pencil, and he goes, Flounders, serviceable back.
All he did the next 2 years, what was it in the NFL, was run for 1750.
Not right away.
Consecutive
That's one of my
seasons.
favorite
Yeah.
stories, and you just stuck to your guns the whole time.
Well, you know what? He had 475 yards against Purdue, Northwestern, and Indiana, and 28 against Michigan
And Ohio State, yeah.
Help him out, Bob. I think he needs some help.
We'll get it. We're going to get it. Good.
You gotta get this.
He hasn't worn one of these
I got
either.
I didn't know I walked into a pod.
You were kind of late for us. I'm like, all right.
No, they said Jones is over there. I said,
was coming right for it. Ronnie Chris
Anyway,
walking up.
congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Explain to the
Well
people.
deserved.
I mean, the podcast people that
Some
are
of the
Nick Horvath,
younger audience might not know
Horvath.
that Nick Horvath was
my
the
first
sports,
boss at the Patriot-News.
the sports editor until 2009. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 December.
From 1938 until 2009, he was the sports editor. And
1938.
they was oh,
Yeah, that was close. So.
yeah.
Now, years they all run together with me too.
Yeah.
The years, you know.
So when I just have to interject this. This is one of my members of U2. I came on the scene in 1993 when the office was at Market Street. You were living in Edders. Nick had just hired me away from East Press Times. There was a smoke room there, and just about once a week, a huge shouting match would erupt in the smoke room. Huge, and it was always the same two people.
Who?
It
Him
was
and me?
you and you.
Well-
Like, you could have been talking about anything, minute, big deal,
It could have been his.
and then 10 minutes later, you guys it was like it never happened.
It could have been his office too.
Yeah.
Because back then, well, you will never admit this, but you would just pick fights about twice a year, and we've talked about this. You would pick fights twice a year just basically on principle, just to stand us at attention and remind us that we have to be on an edge. That we have to be on an edge.
I don't think he's.
He knows it's true. Wait, am I wrong or not?
I'm not saying anything. No comment.
No,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nick, this is Johnny McGonigal.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
I read your stuff.
Thank you.
You do well.
Thank you.
Bob Flounders saved my life, you know, and I was thinking about this.
Oh, right, the Rose Bowl story. When everyone had food poisoning.
Oh, God.
This guy, Charlie, this is a true story.
Yeah.
2008 Rose Bowl. We're at the Media Hotel. It's in downtown Los Angeles.
Food poisoning.
The water was contaminated. Anyone who had the lunch and had ice cubes, food poisoning.
The
Joe
ice?
Herman almost
Oh my
died.
God.
Frank
Yeah.
Danny almost died. All these guys barely made it to the game. Glenn Mason looked like he needed to go to the hospital.
I think I served up Glenn Mason's drink, by the way.
People were down for like 4 days. This guy had it as bad as anyone. He was eating that night.
Yeah.
He was in the media room
That's
eating
an
pizza
absolute
and
freaking
stuff.
trooper.
Yeah.
Nick, you couldn't get to Penn State and back without Nick wanting to stop off. And I'm a kid. I'm your age.
Yeah.
And I got to do what he says.
Right.
And he wants to stop off for maybe a piece of pie. At
A
one of these
piece of
places.
pie?
Yeah, and that
A
would be
piece of pie?
3/4 of the pie would be gone. And
Quarts
Well,
of soup,
an hour
order
later.
a chicken fingers, a
I know.
pastrami sandwich.
Sounds good.
I got like a speck of carrot like stuck in my windpipe.
Yeah, they always complained about the stuff. Oh, I got to get home. I got. No, I'm hungry, man. We got to stop.
Nick, how's your golf game? Can I ask?
Terrible.
Terrible?
No.
Are you hustling anyone anymore?
No, I can't even hit the ball anymore. But I really slowed up. But I'm hanging in there.
Yeah. Ford
I
Chapman's
remember.
here.
Is he?
Yep.
Oh my God.
He's here.
He never stops talking.
Kenny Shanker.
Yeah, I saw Kenny. I talked to him on the phone. I remember those orange bottles that you had when I was.
Gator saved his life. So it was Gator G2.
Yeah, G2.
Yeah.
He had 4 bottles
Yeah.
on the bed rack.
And
And I drank them all.
Like a flower, you came back to life and started eating them.
Yeah.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Everyone else was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Well, it was bad. I mean, it was the worst food poisoning a lot of people have ever had.
Is there anything you want to get off your chest one last time?
Yeah, Nick. Here's my beef.
Well, let me just say this, to be clear. You always,
To be clear,
Before you even say anything.
no, you always had me down wrong, like I really relish confrontation.
Of course. Oh, this
Well, I
is
really didn't.
Yeah. It was just you.
I just took my part.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
Well, Nick used to always start meetings. Now, how did he start meetings if he wanted to bring up a gripe with you
All right.
in his
I'm
office?
going to do all the talking. You're going to do all the listening.
So two things are going to be true here. I'm going to be doing the talking, and you're going to be doing the listening.
That is.
And if you ever tried to interrupt, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes down the line, you'd say, "Are you through yet?" And then he'd say,
No, you'd say that.
"No, I'm just getting started." and that's the way it went. But then the great thing about
No.
Nick was in that office, you could do that. Where else could you yell at your boss?
As
and
far as
get away with
As far as I can remember, Dave, you were the only one that would get into shouting matches.
Freddie Sprunk.
Fred
Fred
Sprunk
Sprunk.
told him to bite me, Nick. Are you kidding? You weren't there yet.
Let's not forget about Sluggard and Aspen.
I forgot about him.
No, I loved it. I loved it Friday night when everybody is sewn to the wall
Yeah.
at 11 o'clock.
Saying a weekly.
And I come walking by leisurely. This isn't a.
This
You
ain't a
gotta
weekly.
work weekly.
This is a goddamn weekly.
And everybody
Friday-
would curse under their breath. I loved it.
Friday nights, for people who don't really know anything about that world, are chaos in a great way. I mean, if you have never worked on a Friday night at a newspaper or even a website, high school football is crazy. And Saturdays are the same thing in a different way because there's multiple deadlines, except we were at games and not in the office. But the office atmosphere is charged. And everyone's working as fast as they can. And if people aren't, you got to go and get them and say, "Hey, I need that box. I need it now."
Yeah.
And sometimes they're kids like you, and they don't want to screw up.
Yeah.
And if you look at them and say, "I don't mean in 5 minutes. I mean now," there's that kind of. You can't do that anymore in a news organization.
No.
I don't think. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. The one thing we had when I think back, we had a great staff. I had no problems off the field. I didn't have drunks. I didn't have alcoholics. I didn't have people coming in late. And we had a lot of fun.
Nick,
I had a lot of fun.
Dave and I have a question for you.
What?
I'll just throw it to Dave since it's his day and we're winding this up. Dave, you and I both shared a bond. We both had the privilege on Friday nights of covering a high school football game, filing it, and then driving 3.5 hours to Pittsburgh.
You did that too?
Yeah, to cover the Pitt.
You did that?
Yes.
You did it after I did
Yeah.
it. I
To cover the
I
Pitt
did
Panthers
not
at
remember
noon.
that.
To cover the Panthers
So you took over in '92?
It was the 93
91.
season. Curtis Martin was on the team. Johnny. So, but what was it like driving in pitch black with some fog, checking into a hotel room at 3:30 in the morning?
Did you guys just used to cover Pitt?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Home games?
You know why?
Yeah.
We're a capital city, and we had people from there.
Yeah.
Western PA.
Yeah.
all
No,
over the
that
place.
makes sense.
That was a true test.
I mean, if I was at Allentown, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
If I was in Scranton.
Right. Yeah.
But I
So
was
cover all ends in the state. That makes
Pretty
sense.
much do anything.
What's
You know
that?
what I mean?
Oh,
Turn
yeah,
around.
Yeah.
And then drive back over.
We would cover a high school game, write it, bust ass out of there, but you couldn't leave before 11.
Yeah.
And then you're driving 3 hours and 15 minutes to Pittsburgh. You roll into the beautiful Howard Johnson, where the air conditioner or the
William
heater
Penn.
goes wah, like every 10 minutes. And then you get maybe 6 hours sleep if you're lucky. Probably more like 4. And then you march up Heartbreak Hill up to Pitt Stadium, which no longer exists.
Yeah.
Because it's the Peterson
Heartbreak Hill, I remember that.
Yeah. It's the Peterson Center.
So
now.
we've all covered the Pitt Panthers.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to drive that. He
you-
did it
you
for the
know.
Post Gazette.
Oh yeah. I was covering Pitt for the
But
Post
you were at
Gazette.
Heinz
Your
Field.
drive was
I was at Heinz
your drive
Field.
was
Yeah.
shorter.
Yeah. I also lived in
Much
Shady
shorter,
Side, so it was
yeah.
like a 15-minute
And then
drive
you
for me.
you finish
Not
that
quite
up
3
and
hours.
and you come back. But look, we had a great job. I mean, I had a great job.
Yeah.
Nick sent me. I brought all these. Look at this stuff. I mean, I got to do stuff that you couldn't do.
I just like the headshots.
Anywhere.
I'm here for the headshots, Dave.
I'm here for the headshots too.
Megan,
Can we zoom in on this headshot?
I got to fly an F-16, and I don't mean sit in it. I mean, that was the days when they gave you the stick,
Yeah.
and you could actually fly it.
It's like let her rip, King.
Yeah, when Mark Brennan said, you didn't fly it, I said, yeah, I
This
did.
podcast isn't going out anywhere, is it?
And
yeah, it is.
do stuff like that.
Dave,
and-
how did you manage to land Anna looking like that in that headshot? I don't understand.
And how did you manage to land the plane?
Which one? Look at all of them.
I'm not a bad-looking guy.
No,
Look at
there
that.
was one in there that was this
I look
one.
like Top Gun.
The Indiana game. Where's the Indiana paper?
There's one of them there that.
Here.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah, what about that?
You-
That's what I was talking about.
This is what. See if you can zoom in on that. That's my first Patriot-News headshot in 1990, 89. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got that?
Yeah.
I don't know. She saw quality when she knew quality when she saw it, I guess.
Oldest headshot I could find of you was Merlin.
All right. You guys want to wrap this up? Nick, you got to see some people. Dave, you got to see a lot of people.
Yeah, Dave, yeah.
We're holding back a little bit because there's going to be a party and I'm going to speak at it. I got some things to say to Dave.
I cannot wait.
That
I cannot wait.
Cannot be repeated on a podcast. So I'm holding back a little bit, but
Can I tell one Dave Jones story before we close?
please do.
Now's the time if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Make it.
Dave was never a problem in the office, intra-office, journalistically. He was at the bottom of the list for giving me problems in that regard. Off the field, he was number one problem. Number one problem. I get a call from him. He goes to the NIT to cover Penn State.
He's going to go with that. My
He
favorite
goes to
story.
the NIT to cover Penn State.
Yeah.
Company car. He has to finish that, drive back, go to BWI, and fly to San Antonio to cover the semifinals of the NCAA.
Best story
So I get a call on Friday afternoon, late in the morning. It's Dave. The company car broke down on exit 52.
In the Lehigh Valley.
And I gotta get
Houston.
it's right out of Allentown, and I gotta get to BWI, I gotta catch this flight. I don't know what I want to do. I said, Dave, what exit is it on? 52. Okay. So I got to get Bob Black and another, God rest his soul.
And there's your problem right there.
No. May rest in peace. And a part-timer, and I said, you guys got to go to Allentown and get this car. They go up there 2 hours later, I get a call, hey, I'm at exit 52, there's no car. See,
And then David Newhouse got involved, I believe.
the whole crew got involved. They were
Your
telling me,
benefactor.
here comes the executive editor, the publisher, hey, Nick, what's going on? You got one of your guys, he lost the car, this and that, blah, blah, blah.
I didn't lose the car. I knew where I put the car.
You abandoned the car.
I'm trying to get
Abandoned the
Jones
car.
on the phone before he gets to the
Tell
airport.
this story at the party.
So I said to Jones, I said, how did you get to BWI? He said, well, I got out with my suitcase on the gravel, and I started hitchhiking, and a guy picked me up, and guess where he was going? I said, I don't know, where? Right outside of BWI. Took me right there. I didn't believe the story, because, it's the biggest
You
story.
got it wrong.
And this happened.
You got it wrong.
and,
You got it wrong.
It doesn't matter.
It's a long
This-
time
this
ago.
is
but
what I told.
You got it right until then. Okay.
But what I didn't get wrong was I had to call the state police in PA. I had to call the state police in New Jersey. And finally they located the car, not at exit 52, but at exit 52 in New Jersey. 2 days
This is
later.
fabricating now. Yeah.
Not fabricated.
I will fill in the gaps with some
fabricated.
accuracy because
He
newspapers
told me
should be
it's
about
like a guy
accuracy.
picked me up and he took me to BWI.
And that's what I'm.
What a great percentage.
This is
kinda
what
like that
actually.
story
It's
better.
minuscule.
This is
I like
what
this better
actually
too.
happened. This is what actually happened. I was playing Paul Alexander in a game of 1-on-1 at the Downtown Athletic Club, which was vacant. And Paulie actually got a court because there was nobody in the place.
Yeah.
And it had kind of gone Chapter 11 or something. And he's the only guy in their room, one of their rooms. They had rooms. They had like a hotel.
Pretend
This
to believe it.
incredible gym.
Yeah.
So we played this knockdown, drag-out game of 1-on-1 that lasts 5 games.
Wow.
I win on the last shot, banking in a 3,
Of course.
which didn't seem fair. Then I get in the car.
So this doesn't seem true.
story.
I've got to get, and Anna is with me in New York, but she's going to hang out a little bit with one of her friends,
Yeah.
and she'll be right behind me. So I've got our Nissan. I've got the company car. She's got the Nissan Sentra, our car.
It's a long function here. We don't need the Gettysburg Address.
It doesn't matter. I am quitting a week from tomorrow. I'm going to take my time on this. All right? Do you mind? All right? This is the last story.
This is my last
This
eye
is
roll ever.
1998. I'm going to San Antonio. I have to get on that flight that goes to Austin from Harrisburg, or I'm not going to make it there. It's late afternoon on Friday, and the games start on Saturday. I have to make that flight. I get run off the highway on 78 or whatever that is by some girl who's not watching where she's going, and
Some idiot.
I get a flat tire. I have to limp it up the berm for like
Nick's
a
not
mile. Like a mile. The object is to get to my assignment. Right? Nothing's going to happen to the car. I get out of the car. I'm going, what am I going to do?
Did you put one of those like plastic bags in the windshield?
I'm thinking Anna. She's right behind me. She said she's going to be right behind me. Well, she wasn't right behind me.
Okay.
And I waited and waited and waited like 45 minutes, and I'm looking for that. It's like a 8-lane highway outside of Allentown. And I'm looking for that red Sentra, nothing. And then some third shift prison guard stops by the side of and asks me what's going on. He's a young black guy. And I tell him the story, and he goes, I'll take you. And I said, you're kidding me. You would do that? You would do that? He said, well, let me go home and talk to my girlfriend. And so I'm actually with this guy. I have no way to get this tire fixed and make the airport in BWI. I can't possibly do it. I've got to make that flight at like 6:40 p.m. So I let him, he's taken me into his apartment. He tells his girlfriend, and she says, you're doing what?
I want to trigger all
You're doing
this.
what?
Did.
And so he gets in the car. It's like 80.
I always think about this.
And we're busting
Well, how about-
ass
how about
down
Yip-
83 and he's
Ypsilanti
taking me
and
all the way to
Lake District is right
Harrisburg,
around.
where I have
I
my
was thinking about
car.
that story.
Yeah.
And I jump, I hop out and say, I'll get you everything I can from San Antonio, or any kind of paraphernalia. I'll get you everything. I get in the car, it's Harrisburg rush hour. I'm on 83 South, and now I'm getting stuck in this.
Where's Anna?
I get
I haven't
to
seen
the
her.
Beltway.
She is
right there.
The Beltway of BWI.
She knows the drill.
And I am thinking, I am never going to make it. I'm never going to make it. It's 1998, mind you. It's pre-9/11.
Yeah.
So I have a chance. I've got like 40 minutes before my flight takes off.
Yeah.
I get on the radio and it says, the Beltway is all jammed up, and I'm going, God! I'm like pounding the steering wheel, you know. And I actually got to BWI probably 15 minutes before my flight was supposed to
Where's
take off.
Dave's
The
son?
car is rolling.
He's in the Philly.
Rolling to a stop. And I get out of the car, I run up to the ticket counter and say, Austin! And they do this, and give me the ticket and say, run! B6. I run as fast as I can. I get on the plane by like 3 minutes. They're closing the door.
Yeah.
I sit down, and I have made that damn flight. And I don't care that the car is out there someplace. I'm just happy that I made it. I'm going to get to San Antonio.
Who won the title that year?
Utah played Kentucky. Yeah.
Dave, it's been great talking Penn State football with you on this podcast. I think we've all enjoyed it. It's time to get to some drinking and some speeches.
I got to get a drink.
My man.
Thank you, guys.
Did it. Awesome. And also, you're able to vent and get that. Now I know the story. I only knew parts of it. And hopefully Nick will never wind your watch like that again. He just looked at me and said, I did that on purpose.